Hey boys and girls, this is lesson number 3 with Miss Mooney, Jackson's grandmother. Today for this lesson, I just want to talk a little bit about how some rocks form quickly, like obsidian. Obsidian forms very quickly out of a volcano, and there's not time for crystals to form. It looks like a shiny piece of glass because it cools very quickly. And then you have other rocks, like quartz here, that form in crystals, a certain crystal. And calcite forms in this shape in nature, and fluorite forms in this shape. Isn't it incredible how they have different shapes and they form in different ways? One thing I said I was going to talk about weight first. I want us to talk just a little bit about weight. So is there a rock that would float? How many of you think a rock would float? Well, let's try it. Okay, I've got 2 rocks here that are about the same size. Now this one is pumice and this one is marble. So let's try the marble first. How many of you think marble will float? Let's try it. Whoa, boy, it went right to the bottom. Well, let's try pumice and see if it'll float. Wow, it does float. Why does pumice float? Well, when pumice comes out of a volcano, it comes out quickly, just like obsidian. But a lot of air bubbles are formed in it. And so when it hardens, those air bubbles are still, those spaces where the air bubbles were are still there. And so it's a very light rock. Now I don't know if you've ever heard of lava soap. This is kind of like a commercial, but lava soap used to be advertised on TV a lot for guys that work on cars and get greasy and all that. And it said lava soap with pumice. And really what it was, people thought maybe it was a chemical. No, it was just pieces of ground up pumice in the soap, so it would catch, so it'd be gritty and it would catch that grease and get it off of your skin. So I just thought I'd bring that up. I don't even know if lava soap is for sale today. Another thing we need to talk about a little bit is how rocks can change out in nature. So this used to be a clamshell, and it has fossilized, and it has become a rock. Where it used to be a clam, see the 2 sides of the clam that come together? And it has been filled in and formed into a rock. And I want you to see this piece of coral. See, I bet this piece of coral was out somewhere in nature, and maybe rain just kept dropping in it and made this little crease. Another example of that is this piece of sandstone. This piece of sandstone is a great example of raindrops falling in here and making this indention in the rock, making it changed. Another type of natural thing in nature is that this used to be a tree. It used to be a part of a tree, and when it was filled in with, can't even think of my word of what it was filled in with, but it was no longer wood anymore, but it became a rock. This is called petrified wood, and I got this out of the petrified forest when I visited there. Well, I didn't get it out of the forest because you can't get it out of the forest, but you can go to the museums and buy a piece of it. So it's petrified wood. Isn't that interesting how rocks can change like that? So that's a short little lesson about crystals and heaviness of rocks and how rocks can change.